1600 Sky, nice. Metagross is good. I do like Metagross. Pretty ground weak apart from the Tornadus. So if I take care of the Tornadus early, Great Tusk late game could be very good. However, Glamora early game means I need to go with Great Tusk early game. Which is not the most ideal thing. Because Glamora was always a weakness of the team, even now with Great Tusk on the team. Yeah, Glamora makes me go Great Tusk early, unfortunately. What's the last one? Marine is okay, but I think I need Spectria. Glamora has always been the hardest thing to beat. That's not a cool trainer card. And there is Glamora, so I'm content with leading with Great Tusk originally. But now it's a 50-50 turn 1. Do they Spiky Shield and Tailwind, or do they attack and Tailwind? Because I'd like to Burning Bulwark on this first turn. On the Meteor Beam turn. And I think that's best regardless. And then I have to Terror the Great Tusk if they do Spiky Shield this turn, so I'll survive the Bleakman Storm. Glamora's always been the most annoying thing, though. Especially if they Terror out of the Headlong Rush weakness. Didn't think about that. However, this should still put them in Sucker Punch range, and that also means they're attacking, which hopefully means they wasted their Power Herb. So they did attack, so I made the correct play. However, that's still... yeah, because even if this isn't a Great Tusk and they predicted, this won't do that much. Like, it will do a chunk, but I quad resist, so... So I'll take that as a start, even though I get the Toxic Debris now, and that was not much. That's not even close to Sucker Punch range either. And an Earth Power and a Bleakman Storm should KO me. Right? So I'm going to switch into Spectria. And I'm going to hope that somehow I live and get this Heat Crash off. And if I don't, then things aren't looking good. But I knew that I've known the entire time I've used the team that Tailwind Glamora is probably the absolute worst matchup that I do have. So... dodge a Bleakwind Storm would put me straight back into the game. I do not dodge a Bleakwind Storm. Gouging Fire is KO to the Earth Power. Or Sludge Bomb. Either is fine. Because that was a KO regardless, it would seem. So... it has to be Chien-Pao now. And I've got no Protects remaining. So somehow I've got to make it through the Tailwind with Great Tusk still in tow. And I don't think that's going to happen. It's 2 turns, isn't it? Yeah. Not the most ideal. But at least my Chien-Pao should live whatever because of the Assault Vest. And we'll take a dodge somewhere. Seems the Spectre should survive. Yeah, that's not much, so at least the Tailwind has been dealt with. And we're living. So I guess that might be Sucker Punch range now. So if everything in the back is weak or not resistant... No, that's the case. It's Metagross and Raging Bolt, right? So long as I can Terra... Oh, it's Rocky Helmet. No! Oh, there goes that. Yeah, Rocky Helmet was worst case there. Because if Chien-Pao lives, I can go for Sucker Punch and theoretically put everything in range of Terra Ground Earthquake. But now I don't think I am able to. I'm still absolutely clicking Terra Ground Earthquake, but things are not looking good now. Yeah. Not ideal. Oh no, because I can't even, because I didn't get the Sucker Punch off, so yeah, this just doesn't work, does it? I will attempt to Shadow Ball, but because I wasn't able to get the Sucker Punch off then, because of the Rocky Helmet, like, this would have been fine. Like, I think this would have been okay if, assuming that the Fluttermane goes down to Terra Ground Earthquake, if I'd have been able to get a Sucker Punch and KO the Glamora, then maybe Great Tusk could have done it. Because it would have been Metagross, Raging Bolt, / something I can't remember. And all of them theoretically drop to Terra Ground Earthquake. Metagross probably lives. It'd be close if Metagross lives. And I hope I get to find out, but I don't think I will. Yeah, just Dazzling Gleam. That's very spexed, and then Earth Power will KO the Great Tusk, and I won't get to find out. Well, they went for Sludge Bomb. But I get to find out at least against the Fluttermane. Okay, so regardless. Was that Focus Sash, or was it just Clutch EVs? It was just Clutch EVs. Okay. So yeah, I didn't have a chance anyway. But like, I've already accepted that Glamora Tailwind is like a very, very bad matchup. And it is quite difficult to be able to win. Probably not the most ideal thing. Like, I played quite a few games with this team at this point, and I'm pretty confident that I want to shift to something else after this GC, based on how this GC is going. Like, the team did, like, pretty decent in Liverpool, but I'm pretty sure I'm ready for something else now. Yeah, because like now, like over 30 games and not in the 1600s is not where I would like to be. At least facing the 1600s guy, so. They've got Volcarona, so that's pretty cool. I like Volcarona. Although Volcarona hard loses to Gouging Fire, so if I can keep Gouging Fire safe from the Landorus, which is what I say every single time, then Gouging Fire is very good. So Ogerpon as a lead is very decent here. And just spamming Snarls is also really good here. They're quite special. And I can burn the Ogerpon as well. And definitely bringing Gouging Fire. Primarina might beat the Volcarona if it's Bug Buzz. But if it's Giga Drain, then Volcarona still can beat the Primarina, because if they just go for Terra, then their Giga Drain outpaces my Moonblasts. So I will leave Primarina on the bench. Most ideal lead would probably be Incineroar to get the Ogerpon. If they go for Incineroar or Volcarona, then I just spam Snarl. And that's okay. If they go Volcarona and not the Incineroar, then I'm inclined to taunt the Volcarona turn 1. In the face of a fire move. And they got Volcarona as their training card. Very nice. Volcarona Landorus. Okay. Well, I'm absolutely snarling. And I think I still will taunt here. Depends on the speeds. They Terra Poison to get the KO. Okay, that's alright. That one's fine. They double protect. Whatever. Okay, this is good. Assumedly, their Volcarona is not faster than my Ogerpon. But who knows. Nice and throat sprayed. Good. That's a good start. I am quite content with this. And now I could just go for a Terra Blast. KO, right? And that free... Like, yeah, I can KO the Landorus this turn. And then that completely frees up my Gouging Fire. So I will switch into Gouging Fire here. They've got no reason to Terra Poison at this point, right? So I will Water Terra Blast into the Landorus. And I will best of one them. Even though I think that this actually is definitely the correct set on Spectria, because it would manage it 1v1s an Incineroar, which is hilarious. No Terra. Mine's going to go first regardless, so I have to wait. So like I said, if Landorus disappears, Gouging Fire is amazing. So let's see. No poison. Ah, it is poison. You had no reason to, except the fact that Snarl would have cancelled out the poison. And then poison would have still KO'd. I've taken a Sludge Bomb unnecessarily on my Gouging Fire. It's fine though. This is still doing a good chunk. This is two-shotting. And that's going to allow me to go for Terra Blast into Volcarona and T-Crash into Landorus next turn. Yeah, that's massive damage. What? Sandsith Storm, what? Why was that the play? What? At least it was Heatwave, but what was that? And I'm on a timer now. What? I had Ogerpon. Why did you Sandsith Storm? That was weird. Now I'm in a really bad position. They've got a Wellspring Ogerpon, right? Yeah, so... I guess I predict the Ogerpon and protect the Landorus. Because I'm on the back foot now, so... Oh, it was Incineroar and protect the Landorus, okay. Fine. That's not a switch into a Terra Blast. You literally just saw I had Terra Blast, but fine. Yeah, it was at least the credit for that Landorus. But why did you switch an Incineroar in the face? What's going on in this match? Like, I am quite confused at my opponent's plays. They clearly don't have Ogerpon. You would have absolutely switched an Ogerpon there. But yeah, I'm a bit confused on the last couple of turns. Because with that burn as well, like, you know... Right, to be fair, I don't get KO'd. But I'm also on a timer and can be faked out. So now I need to preserve my Spectria because of the Volcarona. So yeah, this is not looking good. This was looking decent on the first turn, and then I have no idea what happened in the last couple of turns. I'm quite surprised by my opponent's place. So I'm the one getting best of wand. Okay, got that the correct way round, so I'll take it. What would their last be? If they have Ogerpon, I'm going to be very surprised. But yeah, this Volcarona is an issue now. Because it resists all my attacks on the Chen Pao, assuming it clicks Quiver Dance. However, it might not click Quiver Dance. Because I could taunt it. I reckon it's just going on the offensive here. And this means I won't get burned. I was correct. Is this enough? Oh, no chance. That's very defensive. And Citrus Speed, yeah, like, I'd just lose at this point. To be fair, that was good damage. But that's like a max defense Volcarona, which is reasonable. You probably should be. Clutch Ogerpon. I mean, the game is over because I'm burned on Spectria. If I wasn't burned on Spectria, this was still doable. But yeah, the Sandsys Storm turn was not sure what that was. And then Incineroar switching in. I want to... yeah, I do get to find out at least whether my opponent had Ogerpon waiting in the back. Because the Incineroar is KO'd here. And then I do get to find out. And if they have Ogerpon, I'm a little bit annoyed. Because yeah, I get to find out. Like, my Life Orb comes back to bite me here. This is a situation where Razor Claw's better. Although actually, no, if I'd have gone the other way around and predicted the Protect, the Life Orb wouldn't have activated. Terra Blast could have KO'd the Incineroar. Ogerpon's still around. Maybe Shadow Ball into Volcarona and Ivy Cudgel into Partner is a win. So, that's probably what I should have played for. All I was playing for there was, did they have Ogerpon, am I annoyed or not? Whereas I should have still been trying to win, and that was a possible way to win. Like, the burn cancels any chance of winning at this point. But at least I get to find out the fourth. It was Ogerpon. I have no idea what happened in this game. Like... I'm trying to rein it back because it's a frustrating one, because I'm surprised at the opponent's place. Let's put it that way. Sandsys Storm was weird. Not switching Ogerpon was very weird. You saw that I had a +1 Water Terra Blast, and you switched in Incineroar instead of Ogerpon. Not sure the opponent's thought process there. But of course, it was the correct one, because it beat me. So I gotta brush that off. Doesn't matter. Those are also some kind of losses that you'll face. The opponent will not make the plays you expect. You are not perfect. No one's perfect. No one will get every play right. And it doesn't matter. Like, I've almost mentally clocked out of this GC at this point. But I'm just going to finish all the games for the content, so... CP-wise, I'll maybe get, like, 1 or 2. But like I've said multiple times, like, the GC, everything always goes wrong. And I'm facing someone who's just started. Nice. With a legit team. Okay. So... right, Spectre is a really good lead here. Primarine is really good if we can outspeed the Iron Hands, and it probably does. Yeah, Primarine is very decent. I'm going to lead with Primarina. Gouting Fire is very good. Great Tusk is pretty decent, given the ground weaknesses. If Dragonite can be taken care of, then Great Tusk is fine. Ogerpon is not great here. Chen Pao is reasonable, but I'm assuming that they either Terra the Dragonite, and then I can hit it with ground, or I've taken care of it by the time I need my Great Tusk. That's just what I'm going with in this case. That's not a cool trainer card. This is alright. Primarine is in a good position. So I'll try and get that burn. I'll try and get that Calm Mind. Yeah, it was just fake out. It's fine. Are they Scarf? They are not Scarf, so that's very good. And Urshifu is not doing much. Yeah, that's objectively not much. It will 3-shot, but that's fine. What do they have in the back? I'm inclined to double Will-O-Wisp the Urshifu. There's not much Spectria does here. Like, Snarl would set me up to be able to Terra Blast the Incineroar if I was so inclined. And it would also cover a switch to a special. No, I will just Snarl. What did I have in the back? It was Great Tuscan, Gouging Fire. So the Urshifu's been somewhat dealt with here, but I probably still should properly deal with it. I will regular old Moonblast here. And they didn't switch, so I'm glad I didn't double Will-O-Wisp. But if they only knock off and the Surging Strikes goes into Primarina, then Spectria lives here. And if they Parting Shot, then Spectria lives here as well. That might have been a turn I could have considered going for Terra Water, because I'd have lived the knockoff and the Surging Strikes. So it could have been worth considering. I'm faster with Primarina, which is nice. Now, is it Parting Shot or is it KO with Spectria? It's Snarl. So it's not KO the Spectria. Interesting. Spectria surviving's pretty sweet. Surely Fluttermane, right? Now we'll see the speed interactions, unless it's Booster Energy Speed, which is always the worst case. It is, of course it is. So, this is Dazzle Gleam. I'm pretty sure I can get a Calm Mind up here, right? Because if they don't Dazzle Gleam, and they do more to the Primarina than I would want, then Spectria would get its Snarl. And it crit the right Pokemon, so that's fine. And then next turn I can go for Heat Crash and Hyper Voice. Like, if they Snarl here, I'm back to -1, but I've got my special defense boost. So that's also fine. Like, this is fine. I'll deal with the Incineroar with one Headlong Rush at some point. But I'm not immediately going into Gouging Fire just to psych out my opponent, because if I go immediately into Gouging Fire, they will immediately work out what I'm trying to do. So this is going to make it seem like I'm thinking, even though I know my play. Because the Heat Crash theoretically will just miss the KO, but even a -1 Hyper Voice should pick up the KO on it afterwards. And then we'll see if Dragonite is the final one. If it is, I just get to Breaking Swipe forever. And then I have to lock into close combat with Great Tusk, but that's fine. So I will Heat Crash and I will Hyper Voice. Incineroar's in a pretty bad position here, which is always nice. They could immediately switch into Dragonite here, and then that might start to get a little bit annoying. Of course they have Power Gem. Why would you not run Power Gem on not a Choice Spec set? But there we go, they didn't have any bulk, so that's fine. This is the GC after all. Single target Hyper Voice now is still going to do a good chunk. That's a good chunk. And again, like, who cares? Doesn't really matter. If it's not Dragonite, I immediately win, I think. With the Great Tusk waiting in the back. Because if it's Golden Go, then I just need to Heat Crash and Hyper Voice again and put it in range of just Terra Ground Earthquake. it's Dragonite, then I just need to break and swipe it a few times. If it's Iron Hands, I just Terra Ground Earthquake. So it's definitely breaking swipe. And it is just Moonblast the Iron Hands and accounting for a Terra that could come out kind of thing. Could have gone for Burning Ball, but then what? No, don't run Life Orb. Iron Hands has such massive HP, you don't want to sacrifice its HP. That's not. I do not recommend. The game is locked at this point. Everything's in range of just going for Earthquake. Even with a Terra. Still just breaking swipe. I'll still just Moonblast again. This Hyper Voice into Life Orb chip should KO them, right? Not quite. Doesn't really matter. I'm just winning in a couple of turns' time. It's fine. If they KO the Gouging Fire this turn, then I'm winning on the next turn. It's fine. Yep. I thought recoil once again. Yeah, I guess I'll go for Headlong Rush into the Incineroar just in case of a random Terra. If they're flying Terror on the Incineroar, I guess that's the way I lose. So I get it should be close combat then. But then they could be no, Ghost is way more common than flying. So I Headlong Rush and a Hyper Voice. Cool. So yeah, that Incineroar didn't do anything there. Just spamming Snarl was not ideal for them. But I guess I can still win some games. So this is the start of... No, I'm not even going to say it this time, because it's not. It won't be.